safe at home. Welcome to today's lesson. We shall be proceeding from where we left. Last time we were looking at crop pests. I would like you to briefly remind to your parent what we said about a crop pest. Very nice. Again, remind her of examples of crop pests that we mentioned last time. Thank you very much. I know you might have mentioned the weevils, the rodents, white ants, and etc. So those are examples of crop pests that we talked about last time. So today we shall be looking at effects of pests on crops. Effects of pests on crops. What dangers do they cause on crops? The effects. So before we look at that, I would like us to have a look at the objective of the lesson. What is expected of you after this lesson? Yes, by the end of this lesson, the learner who is you at home should be able to, one, identify crop pests, identify the effects, there is something that I omitted here. Identify the effects of crop pests, to identify the effects of crop pests on plants. That is one of the objectives. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to tell your parent what are some of the effects of crop pests on plants. The other objective by the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify some of the control measures of the crop pests. How can we eliminate crop pests? What measures can we use? That is one of our objectives. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to remind your parent on the same. So some of the effects of crop pests or effects of pests on plants. One is low yields. Low yields. Pests reduce the quantity of crop produce. Just like what I said last time, that if you have an acre of land, piece of land, which is an acre, and you normally harvest 200 bags of maize, when these crops in that piece of land are attacked by the by the pests, what happens? Those big numbers of harvested maize will reduce. The number of bags will reduce. If you harvested last season, you harvested 200 bags, you find yourself harvesting 150 bags. What does that mean? It has lowered the what? It has lowered the quantity. That's what we talk about, the low yields. The other one is reduced quality of the produce. What do we mean by the quality of the produce? When you talk of quality is goodness of something. How good something is. That's what we talk of quality. So what happens if pests destroy your crops? Meaning their goodness, the goodness of those crops reduces. What again will happen when you sell it to whoever? What happens? The number of, or the amount that would have received if the crops were not attacked by the pest will reduce. So therefore, the farmer goes at a loss. The farmer incurs a loss. Why? When the affected crops, when the crops have been affected by the pests. The other one is transmission of diseases on crops. Some pests transmit crop diseases from unhealthy crops to the healthy ones. What does that mean? It lowers the productivity. Meaning, you have a piece of land again, Some crops are not affected, others are affected. So these pests can move from those crops that are affected to those that are not affected, therefore reducing the productivity. The harvest will go down. The harvest will go down. Why? Due to transmission of diseases on crops by pests. The last effect is it causes diseases to consumers. Who are consumers? Consumers is me and you. You have gone to the shamba. You have come with, let's say, kales or sukuma wiki that have been affected by the pests. It may be those pests had some diseases. So when you eat this sukuma wiki, what will happen? You may fall ill. You may fall ill. That's what we're talking about. It may cause diseases to consumers. And you say consumers, it is me and you. Those are the effects of pests on crops. And we say examples of pests that we talked about the weevils, we talked about the white ants and the rodents. So we have a look at now the control measures. How can we control these pests? One, we can control them by scaring them. When you talk of scaring, you may plant a scarecrow. I don't know whether you know what a scarecrow is. You may plant a scarecrow on your shamba to scare these pests. The other one is trapping. You may use some traps to trap pests such as rats and mice. The other one is hard picking. Then we have weeding. Then spraying, weeding. I know you all know what weeding it is. Then we have spraying, use of chemicals such as herbicides. These chemicals are known as herbicides or pesticides. Then we have pruning. What does pruning entail? You remove the affected part of the plant before it spreads the disease to that other part of the plant that is not affected. So therefore you cut the unwanted part of the plant to prevent that part which is not affected. That's what we call pruning. So these are just but the control measures of pests. So for your assignment, if you ever look at what we have done there, I have not written into details of the control measures. So I expect you to discuss the control measures or control measures for crop pests and write down simple notes on them and then post the one on my WhatsApp inbox. Don't post on WhatsApp word, but post on my inbox so that I can be able to mark for you and return it back. Until next time, find the extended assignment in Google Classroom.